Back to the stage, Mr. Steve Hardin. Thank you very much. Hey, I really appreciate that. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed Pete as much as I did. Put your hands together again for Pete Storm and Johnny Cash. And let me tell you, I really want to offer a sincere word of thanks to Pete for making this happen for me. This really has been a lifelong dream of mine to try to do stand-up. I thought I better get on it at 52 years old. Time's passing me by. But all the material you hear here this evening, it's all original. I wrote it all. I choreographed it all. So you can only imagine the kind of pressure that's on you guys tonight to laugh at me. I mean, you don't strike me as the kind of crowd that would want to crush an old man's dreams. So something I started thinking about backstage, and this is not part of my act. I'm sure my wife's out there thinking, please don't go off script this evening. But when we were thinking about cell phones, I thought about something. It's been a while back, and it was in church, actually. And somebody's cell phone went off right as the preacher's preaching. And you know, that wouldn't be bad enough, but you know what the ringtone was? AC/DC's Highway to Hell. I'm thinking, really? If your cell phone's going to go off in church, and you're going to have a rock and roll song as your ringtone, don't you think it should at least be Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven? I don't know if you noticed the theme. I don't know if any of you are movie buffs, but all three of those songs that I had them play as I came out here, does anybody know who that was? Van Halen, thank you. Someone, yeah. It's kind of interesting because I started listening. I just kind of like they have long intros, and I thought that would be kind of cool to play. But I'm pretty sure I heard my dad in the audience say, "Turn down that rock and roll music." Oh my goodness, my dad hates my music to this day. Says he doesn't understand it. I'd like to think I learned a few things listening to my music. I mean, I did learn a little bit of foreign language. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Translation, thank you very much, Mr. Robot. You know, Dad, I'm still trying to figure out just exactly what ba 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 da dang da dang da ding da dong ding dong means, so I think I'll probably eat it. You know, I still listen to the old music that I listened to growing up. I still like that. But you know, as you get older, you listen to it a little differently. Let me give you an example. You guys remember the old song by the Players, Baby Come Back? Yes. Baby Come Back? Yes. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. You know, guys, how many of you here have been married for more than 5 minutes? You know she's going to blame it on you, whether you give her permission to or not. And chances are you can live without her, as long as you want to do that with half your stuff. Here's another song that you guys remember, the hair band Scorpions. Anybody remember the hair band Scorpions? They had a song called Rock You Like a Hurricane. Wow, rock you like a hurricane. That's a pretty bold statement if you think about it. My wife says about the best I ever do is a tropical depression. Here's another song. You guys remember Kiss? Kiss's anthem? I wanna rock and roll all night. Wow, that was good. I thought I was going to have to bring the mic back and do that again. Let's try that again. You guys did a good job. I wanna rock and roll all night. See, the key word there is want. I want to rock and roll all night. But that's kind of hard to do when I fall asleep in my recliner at 9:30 in my boxer shorts, a little bit of drool running down my face, and a half-eaten bag of Doritos on my belly. And you know what? If I could rock and roll all night, I can't party every day. I got a little something the next day to go to called a job. I don't know who signed me up for that. I guess that's what happens when you listen to 4 grown men dressed up like space aliens and a cat. But maybe my favorite song that I listen to differently is probably a song that most of you don't know by its actual title. We know the song by something completely different. Does anybody here know what we know the song Escape to? Does any? Pina Colada song, losers. But yeah, we know that as the Pina Colada song. If you want pina coladas, getting caught in the rain, if you're not into health food, if you have half a brain, you know the story there. Well, for those of you that don't remember the story, maybe you're too old to know that story, or too young to know what in the world I'm talking about, let me bring you up to speed. It's a guy and a girl, they're in a relationship, and it's kind of fallen into a rut. So the guy says he's sitting in bed one night, he's reading the newspaper, and he reads this personal ad. Now let me stop right there if there are any millennials in the audience, and let me just clear things up. The newspaper was a paper that had news on it. Actually came to our house every day, we got to read that. And the personal ads, well, that's your version of Tinder. Okay, are you with me? Okay, so anyway, the guy reads this ad that this girl puts in there that she likes, asking if you like pina coladas. So he answers, and in the song he says, I didn't think about my old lady. I know that sounds kind of mean, but me and my old lady had fallen into the same old dull routine. So I picked up a paper and took out a personal ad, and though I'm nobody's poet, I thought it wasn't half bad. You know, Rupert Holmes, when he wrote that song, man, he was a bad poet. I tell you what, that's a terrible song. But anyway, so they plan their escape. They're going to meet at a bar called O'Malley's. Yeah, good crowd. They're going to meet at a bar called O'Malley's, and they're going to plan their escape. So the guy gets there first. Imagine that, the woman's late. I didn't see that coming, did you guys? So the guy gets there, the girl walks in, they lock eyes, and they know instantly, they recognize each other, and she says, oh, I never knew that you liked pina coladas. Yeah, that's how that would go down at the Hardin household. Guys, do me a favor, when you go home tonight, take out a profile on Tinder and get back to me and let me know how that goes. You know, my wife and I, this I can't make this up. It's some of the stuff you can't make up. I'm not that smart. We were cross-country skiing one time up at Canaan Valley, a place called Whitegrass. And if you've ever cross-country ski, it's a little bit different than downhill. I mean, you work all day. You ski up the mountain, then you ski down the mountain, then you ski up the mountain. And so we were tired. We'd skied all day. We were tired. We were hungry. We got back. We were staying at the lodge up there. And when we got back, the only place that was really available to us was a little, I don't know, restaurant sandwich place downstairs. So we thought, well, that's what we've got for food. Well, when we got down there was a young guy. He had his DJ stand set up, had the smoke and the lights and the mixing station. And I told my wife, I said, you know, that looks a whole lot like the guy that was flipping our omelets this morning down at the breakfast buffet. I think he was moonlighting as a DJ. And you know, if you guys have ever heard mixed music, some of you are like, what in the world is mixed music? If you've ever heard mixed music, you know usually there's a rhyme or a reason to it, or there's some segue. Not with this guy. I'll give you an example of kind of what it was like. Well, you can tell by the way I give my walk. I'm a woman's man and no time to talk. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a song and I got me a fiddle, and the sun's coming up. I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny fun riddle. I can't believe you guys missed it. That's why I don't turn the show over to amateurs. Talk about night fever, night fever. So anyway, I'll tell you something else that's changed a lot. By show of hands, how many here had or know what I'm talking about when I talk about the Atari Pong video game? You guys know that? Yeah. It was, for those of you who don't know, it was one digital paddle on this side of a 13-inch TV and one paddle on this side of a 13-inch TV and a digital tennis ball going across the stage. You could have had more fun going outside watching the paint dry. But I would like to think that we progressed a little bit and we graduated, because then we got to the point where we would actually go into the arcade and play what I feel are truly some of the classic games like Frogger and Pac-Man and Space Invaders, things like that. Nowadays, these gamers, they actually have a chair. They have chairs made just for gaming. They have this virtual reality glasses on and this elaborate headset. And this is true. They can literally game. They can play games with anybody, anywhere in the world. The interesting thing is, anytime you see their commercials for their games on TV, they say rated M for mature. I got a newsflash for you. If you're 32 years old living in mom and dad's basement and playing video games, you probably ain't mature. You know, my wife and I are different. You'll notice some of these jokes don't have a segue. I just like right into them. My wife and I are a lot different. I bet you didn't know you were going to have that kind of knowledge dropped on you this evening, that men and women are different. But my wife loves the Lifetime movies. Ladies, you like the Lifetime movies? How many of you out there, you know the Lifetime channel? I tell you what, you would think with a name like Lifetime right there in the title, that this would be kind of a romantic comedy or have a happy ending or something like that. No. I'm going to tell you, somebody's dying by the end of that show. I'll tell you something else. If you're an actor and you find yourself on the Lifetime channel, your career is officially dead. Hey, honey, wasn't that Danny Bonaducci I just saw on that last episode? You know, a lot of people say that men don't like to shop. That, of course, we're different in that, but I don't agree with that. You take a man to Lowe's and drop him off, he can spend hours and probably thousands of dollars in Lowe's. As a matter of fact, I'm convinced that Lowe's is the only place in the world that you can go that the men's room is actually more crowded than the women's room. We were in Lowe's the other day. We got to the checkout counter, and there was a stud finder in my bucket there in my basket, and I said, honey, we have a stud finder. She said, no, this one's for me. You know, my wife likes to shop at Sam's. You guys like to shop at Sam's Club? And why not? We all know about the impending toilet paper shortage that's coming up. My wife figures she's got to corner the market on toilet paper, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that. You know, that's an interesting store if you think about it. You've got to buy a membership for the privilege to get to shop at their store. Then you have to pass your commercial driver's license to drive that buggy around the store. I was in there the other day, took a corner too close, hit a support beam, they had to shut the store down for about 20 minutes while I fixed the place. You know, my wife once bought 2 gallons, this is a true story, she bought 2 gallons of vanilla at Sam's. Ladies, have you ever noticed how infrequently you use vanilla in a recipe? And when you do, if it's ever more than 1/4 of a teaspoon, I don't know what you're making. But we've got enough of this stuff to fill a small hot tub, I tell you what. But our kids are happy about it. We put it in our will, we passed it down to them. They figure they've got something to remember us by long after we're gone. You know, a lot of people, they ask me, it's like, where do you get material? And I think, I don't know. I mean, I guess I just see things a little differently sometimes. I'll give you an example. You'll see this. You guys may have seen this, especially if you're driving past an older graveyard. There's a sign on there that says perpetual care. I'm like, how much care do these people need? Maybe if they had better care, they wouldn't have ended up there in the first place. Saw this on TV the other day. It was a promo for the Dr. Phil show. It said 1 in 10 Americans is addicted to drugs. What they don't tell you is that 9 out of those 10 got addicted to drugs after watch the Dr. Phil show. Here's my favorite. This is a true story. I was at a meeting one time. A bunch of us were going to go out to eat. As we were going to the restaurant, we passed a restaurant that said Ethiopian cuisine. I'm like, think about that. What is their tagline? Come hungry, leave starved? I mean, isn't there a famine going on down there? Quit exporting your food to America. We got enough. You don't believe me? Stop by Walmart on the way home this evening. You know, another place I like to get materials, commercials. They kind of write themselves, commercials. This is one you hear on the radio every now and then. Donate your car for the Heritage for the Blind. I'm glad you guys laughed at that. Some people think, you know, I don't have an old car right now that I'm going to donate, but I'm thinking I'm going to go out and find an old $500 beater. I'm going to tell them I'll donate it on one condition. I get to be there when that guy drives it off the lot. I figure that's the best $500 entertainment money I've spent for a long time. Here's another one. You guys have seen the Ancestry.com. You can get on the web and you can look for your family tree. You know what their tagline is? Connect with family you didn't even know you had. I'm like, good Lord, I don't want to connect with the family I know I do have half the time. Here's another one, Rosetta Stone. You guys know Rosetta Stone? You can learn to speak a foreign language.
You know, they say it's used by dignitaries, the military, the ambassador, and even NASA. NASA? I'm like, the last time I checked, NASA's going to the moon and Mars. Who do they think we're going to run into up there? And exactly how do they know how to teach us the language to speak? I mean, have they got some Martian guy holed up at Area 51 out there forcing him to teach us to speak his language? Or maybe they've worked out a deal with him. If he'll teach us to speak the language, they'll go easy on him. I can imagine this little Martian guy back there smoking cigarettes, watching Star Trek reruns on the Sci-Fi Channel. But maybe